Alright, what's up guys? Had to go live early today. Normally don't go live this early, but I do have something to attend, a family thing, family dinner tonight, so I was gonna have to leave the house early today. I wouldn't have been able to stream if I would've, had to go live earlier or later. So I figured I'd go live early before I leave for this family dinner. Wanted to still, talk through this slate with you guys. As always, we'll answer questions. If you have any questions, it's definitely an interesting slate. I will say that. We didn't think we were going to get much news today, and then the COVID outbreaks have just been crazy in the NFL and in NBA. Brooklyn was the team that got smacked today with COVID protocols, so they've got a ton of guys out. LaMarcus Aldridge got ruled out. James Johnson got ruled out. DeAndre Bembry got ruled out, and Javon Carter got ruled out. Now, outside of Aldridge, these aren't really like high usage players, but they do play meaningful minutes. So there's definitely going to be minutes to go around for a lot of Brooklyn guys. There's definitely a lot of value on Brooklyn now. Like Nicholas Claxton, I think is going to start in place of Aldridge. He's 3,100 on Draftkings, I'm pretty sure. Claxton, if he starts, is going to be a really good value. I think there'll be more minutes available for guys like Bruce Brown, Cam Thomas. Blake Griffin hasn't even been in the rotation lately, but I think Blake Griffin's going to get back in the rotation. He'll play some minutes. So you're going to have to look to some of these Brooklyn guys, and we still are waiting for KD news. So KD got ruled questionable this afternoon. Now that KD's questionable, if he gets ruled out, you're going to be loading up on Brooklyn. James Harden would be a great play if KD's out. You guys know that. Patty Mills would get a little boost. Bruce Brown, I would like a lot for value. Cam Thomas, I think, would get a lot of minutes. There's definitely going to be a lot to like from Brooklyn. Brooklyn was kind of the focal point of the slate, news-wise. And then we did get word from Phoenix. Nothing really, that's going to help us. Devin Booker's still out. We kind of knew that was going to be the case. And then DeAndre Ayton's questionable. Ayton did not play yesterday. He's questionable again. My lean is that he plays tonight. I think, they sat him out yesterday so that he would play today. So I think Ayton's going to play. But we saw last night, with Ayton out, JaVale McGee had another pretty good game. 31 DK points, played 25 minutes. He'd be a strong value play if Ayton were to be out again. The only issue, we have 3 games tonight. 2 of them start at 7:30. It's the only 10 o'clock game. So if you play JaVale McGee and Ayton winds up playing, well, then you're kind of screwed. You would have to either swap to there are some viable swaps. You could go to Larry Nance. You could go to maybe Landry Shamet. But that's a tricky situation given Ayton questionable again. But yeah, definitely Brooklyn was kind of the team to talk about for sure. We're waiting on KD news. KD is going to be the deciding point of this slate. I think even if KD plays, you're still going to want to target some of these Brooklyn guys just because they're missing so many players. But obviously, if KD gets ruled out too, then yeah, you're going to be loading up on Brooklyn for sure. What's up, Danny? What's up, MM? Michael, what's up, man? Slate's turning my stomach, but here we are. Here we are, man. Here we are. It's just a wait and see. It's really tough to build lineups right now until we know if KD's playing. Anytime a star player like that's questionable, it's always going to be super impactful, and especially on a 3-game slate. KD being in or out is going to change a ton. Give a good cash line for DK. Antonio, man, I don't give out lineups. If you're looking for someone to give you a lineup, don't come here because I don't give out lineups. 3-game slate's very odd. Not sure how to feel about it yet. Yeah, it's an interesting slate for sure. Again, we're going to have to wait for this KD news. It's going to be what really changes the slate. I doubt we're going to get any news on KD while I'm streaming. We probably won't get news on KD till 6:30, 7 Eastern. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see there. That's the big focal point of the slate right now. We're going to crush it again tonight. Hey, Graham, I hope so, man. I hope so. We had some guys do really well in the Patreon yesterday. On Yahoo, the guy that won first in the 30K baller, it was 5K to first. The guy that won first is a Patreon member. He had, I think, 4 of the 5 Yahoo core plays in his lineup on Yahoo. Honestly, I should pull it up real quick. Let me see. It was very similar to my lineup. The lineup he played, it was literally 2v2 off of my lineup. I'm going to pull it up real quick. Let's see. So, yeah, 5K to first, 30K baller. So this was my lineup on the left, and then W3AZ3, he is a Patreon member. He got first place. Again, it was a 2v2 off my lineup. We basically had the same thing, except I had Gordon Hayward and Reggie Jackson. He had Eric Gordon and Porzingis. And he won first place, 5K. Big shout out to him. I'm not sure if he's watching the stream right now, but he's a Patreon member. Congrats to him winning 5K on Yahoo last night. Huge W, man. Huge W. Love to see it. Appreciate the consistency, Noah. Hey, sure thing, my man. Sure thing. I wasn't going to be able to stream, at normal time today. I didn't want to just leave you guys hanging, so I figured I'd go live a little early. But I'm going to have to leave at like 5:30, so we're not going to be live for about 15, 20 minutes. But I wanted to get a stream in before I had to leave. Do you like Claxton? Yeah, I think Claxton's a really good value. He should start in place of Aldridge. He started last time Aldridge was out. I don't think Claxton did great last time Aldridge was out. It was this game against Detroit, I think, maybe? Or it was the game against Houston. So this was the game when KD and Aldridge were out, and Claxton started, played 16 minutes. I mean, we don't really know how many minutes he's going to play, but I would think most cases he's going to start and play like 22, 24 minutes minimum. And at 3,100, he's going to project out as a really good value. It's going to be really hard for him to kill you at the salary, just, with him starting most likely. Had a good lineup before this Brooklyn news, so you think I have to get next exposure? I mean, yeah, I would not, right now, I don't even, I'm not going to build my lineups yet until we know if KD's playing or not. I think even if KD plays, I mean, you're going to have to look to some of these cheap Brooklyn guys. So, Patty Mills, or maybe not Patty Mills, but, Bruce Brown, definitely Claxton I like a lot for value. Just with how many players they're missing, with Aldridge, Johnson, Bembry, Millsap, Carter, all these guys being out, there's just so many minutes to go around. You're going to see minutes for Bruce Brown, for Cam Thomas, for Claxton, and they're cheap. So it's going to be hard to just full fade Brooklyn today. And especially if, oh, you lost it? Should be good. Are we good? On my end, I think OBS is working. Hold up, let me make sure the stream's still working. I don't know what happened. We're good? Okay. Hold up, let me pull up the stream on YouTube, make sure it's working first. I'm getting a black screen. I don't even know if you guys can still see me. What the heck is happening? I'm gonna stop the stream and I'm gonna restart it. Alright, I think we're good now. I don't know what the hell's going on. Alright, we're back. Okay, good. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened with OBS or what, but it just it went out. It was black on my screen too. But I think we're good now. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. I don't even remember what I was saying before it blacked out. I think I was saying that, talking about Brooklyn, maybe. I can't remember. We'll get back to it. Thoughts on Julius Randle tonight? I think Julius Randle's in play, Graham. It's a 3-game slate. I don't think he'd be my priority pay-up option. I think I would rather play Dame at a similar price point, and then obviously, if KD's out, I'd rather play Harden. But I think Julius Randle's definitely in play. KD's out. James Harden a lockup for today. I mean, yeah, Harden would be, God, he'd be a really scary fade. We've seen in these scenarios whenever KD's out, whenever Harden was on Houston, whenever Chris Paul would miss games and stuff, it's just, Harden just gets so much usage in these scenarios. He's a really, really scary fade. So, full transparency, if KD gets ruled out, I'm going to be playing Harden. Looking like a Yahoo alone stack is Portland Phoenix thoughts. I mean, yeah, you could stack up that game. I would want to have some exposure to some of these early games, especially if KD gets ruled out, there's going to be a good amount to like from Brooklyn. But on Yahoo, if you want to play, Dame, CP3, Simons, they're affordable. I think you can definitely do that. Any prospects you liking tonight? I will say that if you play on Prize Picks tonight, they do have all the Brooklyn guys still on the board. So Harden, Patty Mills, Bruce Brown, these guys are all available. If we get word that KD's out, I mean, yeah, over on 52 fantasy points for Harden, I really like that. You could take the over on Bruce Brown, 25.5 fantasy points. You could take the over on Patty Mills, 23 fantasy points. But definitely watch for this KD news, because if he gets ruled out, feel free to just fire the overs on these Brooklyn guys. And then some of these Raptors, I think, Scotty Barnes, 33 fantasy points. Even Siakam and Van Vliet, 38 fantasy points. Like, these guys are going to play 38, 40 minutes if it's a close game. And they're going to average, around a fantasy point per minute. So I kind of like, almost like a game stack of that game. I don't really, stack on Prize Picks or anything. But you could definitely play like 4 or 5 guys, take the overs in this Brooklyn-Toronto game. Obviously, the Brooklyn guys would be great if KD's out. But then some other ones, like Derrick Rose, I kind of like his over. I'm assuming he's going to start. Quentin Grimes was ruled out for health and safety protocols. And Quentin Grimes did start last game and played a ton of minutes. So I would assume that Rose gets the start in place of Grimes. And Rose, on DraftKings at 5K is going to be a really good play. And if you want to take over 29.5 fantasy points on Prize Picks, I kind of like that too. His projection was 27.5, but it went up a little bit. But I still like the over there if you want to take it. De'Ron Sharp gets a big usage bump. Not sure if he's still on the team. He is on the team. So these are the guys. So basically, if you look at DraftKings and look at the fantasy points per game, all these guys that don't have any fantasy points per game, none of these guys are on the roster. So none of these guys are going to play. The guys that are going to play for Brooklyn tonight, their available players, will be KD if he plays. So KD, Harden, Mills, Bruce Brown, Blake Griffin, Claxton, Thomas, Duke Jr., Edwards, and Sharp. So that's 10 guys. So Brooklyn's going to have 10 available players if KD plays. If KD gets ruled out, you would obviously take KD out, and then they would have 9 available players. So Sharp is available to play. I don't think Sharp plays much, though. Like, I think they're just going to use Blake Griffin as the backup center. I don't really know how much Sharp is going to get on the court, to be honest with you. I don't think I'd be playing him in this scenario. I think Alec Burks is a fine option, Brandon. Not like a standout play for me, but, at 6,300, he's going to play probably, 36, 38 minutes if it's a close game. The Knicks run a tight rotation, and because they're missing so many guys right now, you add that, Quentin Grimes is out now, who played 40 minutes. Like, you're going to get 36, 40 minutes for Alec Burks. So he's definitely playable. I think he's priced where he should be, but he's still in play for me. Derrick Rose is for sure my favorite play from the Knicks, assuming Derrick Rose is starting, which he should be. So I want to thanks for all the good advice. I just play for fun. I played a 50-cent tournament yesterday, won second place, $100. Hey, Joseph, we love to hear that, man. That's a huge ROI. Turning 50 cents into $100 is unreal. Congratulations, man. That's great to hear. Favorite small forward on Yahoo. Yeah, the small forward position on Yahoo is really bad today. I think you're either playing Norman Powell, Andrew Wiggins, or you're going cheap and playing Bruce Brown. It's those are your 3 options. I think Norman Powell might be my favorite of the 3, but if KD gets ruled out, then I would like Bruce Brown a lot. So yeah, I think Bruce Brown is still in play even if KD plays, but I would definitely like Bruce Brown a lot more if KD were to be out. Thoughts on Derrick Rose? I think Derrick Rose is a really good play. He's underpriced. He's gonna probably start with Quentin Grimes out. We know they'll play Derrick Rose pretty big minutes. He played 37 minutes last game when he started. He might not get as much usage now that Burks is back, but without RJ Barrett, there's still plenty of usage to go around. And obviously, Kemba's not in the rotation, so you don't have to worry about him getting minutes. You're going to see big minutes for most of the Knicks starters. I think Burks, Rose, Randall, we can expect 35, 36 minutes for those 3 guys, most likely. If KD is in, what's your thoughts on the entire slate for payouts? Who would be your favorite 2? I think Dame is definitely a guy I like a lot. Without CJ McCollum, I think the upside is really, really high for Dame. His first game back from injury last game, he didn't really shoot the ball that well, but he still scored 47 DK points. He had 11 rebounds, 6 assists. He's just going to have the ball in his hands so much. The matchup against Phoenix is not great. Phoenix has been, one of the better defensive teams this year, but I think Dame's just going to get so much opportunity that, he looks really good at 9,700. Harden I still kind of like, even if KD plays. Like, I think Harden's my favorite of the, between Harden, Curry, or KD, I like Harden the most, even if KD plays. And then obviously if KD gets ruled out, feel free to just jam in Harden. But I think Dame and Harden, regardless, are my two favorite payups today. Live early today, yeah. I gotta leave in a little bit. I gotta go to a dinner with my family. It's my brother's birthday, or tomorrow's my brother's birthday, and we're celebrating tonight. So I had to go live early today, so I could get out of here in time. I have Paul Randall Lillard. Please play KD. I mean, yeah. I still like I said, I'm not building any lineups until we know if KD's playing or not. Because if KD plays, it's gonna change enough to where I wouldn't want to build my lineup right now. And obviously, if KD gets ruled out, like that's just gonna change everything. So I'm just gonna wait and build lineups till after we get this KD news. What about Van Vliet? I think Van Vliet's a fine option. I think he stands out a little bit more on Yahoo than DraftKings. So if you play on Yahoo, kind of like him more over there. He's like $31. But on DraftKings 8,600, he's definitely in play. I think Van Vliet, he'll be a little bit lower owned on this slate. I think most of the Raptors are going to be fairly low owned, except for Boucher. Boucher will probably get a lot of ownership again. Stars and scrubs again tonight. I'm going down in a blaze of glory. Yeah, it wasn't looking like that, and then all these guys got ruled out for Brooklyn, and now we have some value. So yeah, it's gonna be a stars and scrubs slate. It kind of looks like it. I have a feeling Rose comes off the bench with Burks back. Well, they're gonna have to start someone in place of Quentin Grimes. Now that Quentin Grimes is out, he would be the guy starting at shooting guard. So it's gonna be Randall, Burks, Fournier, and Noel. Those are going to be the four starters. Who's going to be the fifth? Is it going to be Rose? Is it going to be Quickly? Is it going to be Kevin Knox? It's going to be one of those three guys most likely. So my best guess is it's probably Rose, but we'll see. I think even if Rose comes off the bench, he's still going to play pretty high minutes. I mean, right now he's projected for 35.5 minutes. I would assume if he comes off the bench, that projection won't go down too much. If you're getting choppy audio, try and refresh. We had some issues earlier with the stream, but I think we're good now. Lillard, Rose, Simons, Browns, KD, Boucher, Curry, Claxton as well. I think that's solid, Brandon. Now, obviously, KD, you got to wait and see there if KD plays. If he doesn't, you can just play Harden. But I think that's pretty solid. Norman Powell. I think Norman Powell's a fine option. At his price point on DK, 6K. He's not like a standout play for me, but without CJ, there's going to be more opportunity for Norm. Obviously, now that Dame is back, it's not going to be Norm's not going to get as much usage, but he's still going to play a lot of minutes if the game's close. He's going to take shots. At 6K though, I think he's priced where he should be. He's not like a standout play, but obviously on a 3-gamer, he's viable. Cam Thomas or Cam Payne or Cam Thomas if KD's out. I would take Cam Thomas if KD's out. Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul's another fine mid-range option. He's not a guy that really stands out on this slate. Chris Paul hasn't been great lately without Devin Booker. We haven't really seen a big game from Chris Paul yet. Ever since Booker's been out, it's just been mediocre games from CP3. I think at some point he's going to have a big game. I don't know when it's going to happen. Against Portland, a good matchup. Could CP3 have a good game tonight? I think he could. I still don't think he's like a standout play for me. If I was playing one lineup tonight, I doubt I'd play CP3. But if I was playing, 2, 3, 4, 5 lineups, probably, CP3 would probably make it in at least 1 or 2 of those. Enjoy dinner with the family. I appreciate you, Robert. I will, my man. I will. It's always good to get out with the family. Now that I've been living on my own for almost 3 years now, I really enjoy getting to see the family, because I obviously don't see them as much. Appreciate all the advice on plays. New to NBA DFS, I watch your video every morning. Hey, Tanner, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching the videos. I'm glad they help you. I have 36 left on Yahoo utility spot. Who you like? Probably Julius Randle there. I think Julius Randle's 35, if I remember correctly. Well, yeah. If you don't have Dame, I would say Dame. So Dame would be my number 1 pick there. If you already have Dame, then I would say Julius Randle. Any Raptors today? I think the starters are all in play. Van Vliet, Gary Trent, Scotty Barnes, Siakam, Boucher, all 5 of those guys are in play for me. My favorite, points per dollar wise, is probably Boucher. He's still really cheap. He's like 4,800 on DK. He should be starting again. Boucher, he's going to probably play 26, 28 minutes in the starting lineup, and we know Boucher's a really productive player when he gets minutes, so he's a really good value once again, I think. But like all those guys are in play in my opinion. Best value for tonight, I mean, it's probably Claxton at 3,100. Now that he should be starting for Aldridge. So Claxton, I like a lot on DraftKings for value. If KD gets ruled out, then you could say like maybe Bruce Brown would be a top value. But for now, I would say Claxton. And you still got like Boucher, who I like. You still got Larry Nance, who probably will start again. Those are other guys I like for cheap options too. Better time for your European subscribers. You should do it more often. I don't know. We've gotten so used to the hour before lock that I think most people tune in then. But I just had to go live early today. Because if I didn't go live now, I wouldn't be able to stream. But I think we're probably going to stick to the hour before lock, just because I think so many people have gotten used to that. Knox at small forward. I think Kevin Knox is playable, yeah. I don't think he's like a standout value, but he's been in the rotation lately. He played really well on Sunday. He got minutes. Without Quentin Grimes, you would have to think he's going to play more. Barrett's still out too, so yeah, I think Kevin Knox is definitely in play on the slate. In interest in Griffin, I think Blake Griffin will be in the rotation. I think he will play tonight. He'll get minutes. I would like Blake Griffin a lot more if KD's out, because I think if KD's out, they might start Blake Griffin at power forward alongside Claxton. But if KD plays, I think they might just use Blake Griffin as like the backup center. And if that's the case, I wouldn't really want to go to Blake Griffin. But if KD's out, I think Blake Griffin would be a pretty good value. Gary Trent or Norman Powell? I would say Gary Trent. But that's a close one, Chris. But I'd say Gary Trent. Claxton, McGee, Griffin, Boucher. Who do you like the best out of these four? Probably Boucher, but if we knew that Ayton was out, I would probably say McGee. But that's just super risky to, it's kind of risky to plug McGee in. If you do play McGee, try and leave $100 on the table, because then if you have McGee in your center spot, you can just swap to Larry Nance, who would be a pretty good play. Or if you play McGee in the util, then you could swap to like Jay Crowder or Shamet. But I'm probably not going to play McGee unless we get word Ayton's out before lock. I didn't play McGee yesterday. Obviously, if you played him, you got what you wanted. Ayton was out, but I think Ayton's going to play today. Like, I just have a feeling. I don't know. It's always scary plugging those guys in who need a player to be out to really, get there. Can I play KD and Harden? I don't think I'd be playing both. Not on this slate. In order for that to work out, like, you would probably need that game to like be like super, super high scoring or like go to overtime or something. Top four Nets. Well, it's all going to depend on if KD's in or out. I think if KD plays, I would say Claxton, points per dollar wise, Claxton, Harden, Bruce Brown, and then probably like Cam Thomas. But if KD's out, then I would say Harden, Bruce Brown, Claxton, Thomas. So it would be the same four guys, just like in a different order, I guess. And I guess, yeah, you could throw Blake Griffin in there too if KD's out. Barnes, Boucher, Siakam, too much Toronto. I think on this slate, 3-gamer, I think it's fine to play through Raptors. So yeah, I'd be okay with that. What's for dinner? We're going to an Italian place in my hometown. So we're gonna get some Italian. I don't know what I'm gonna get. We'll see. Chris Paul just looks like a smash to me tonight. I mean, it's a good matchup against Portland. Chris Paul has not been great since Devin Booker's been out. We really haven't seen that big game from him, but I feel like at some point he's going to have one. At some point, Chris Paul is going to go for like 50. He's going to have like 25 points, 12 assists, and put up, a big game. But man, I feel like you're just chasing at this point. You're waiting for it to happen. It just never does. If someone would have told you 3 years ago that you'd be a successful DS creator and player, how would you have believed it? It's crazy how life can go. It is crazy, man. When I started making DFS content, like I never thought I'd, have a big following like I do now. I'd be so known in the DFS community. I mean, I love it, man. Like I love playing DFS. I love sports. I love gambling. When I started playing DFS like a long time ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, I just kind of did it for fun, just like to, put some money on the game, watch my players play. And then I started watching other, content creators. I started, listening to other creators, started to learn more about DFS, learn more about the game. So, yeah. And then I just decided to start making my own content. I felt like I was, at that point, I felt like I knew enough to where I could provide my own content. And, here we are, 3 years later, 4 years later. We got a big following. It's crazy, man. I've turned it into my full-time job, too. Love it. Claxton on Yahoo or pay up for center? I think I like Claxton a lot more on DraftKings, so on Yahoo, I don't think you need to go there. I think he's still in play, but I would probably be trying to play like Siakam or Nurkic at center, or Ayton if he plays. I don't have as much interest in Claxton on Yahoo than I do DraftKings. The difference between $3,100 on DraftKings and $10 on Yahoo, like there's a huge difference. Claxton on Yahoo doesn't project nearly as well as he does on DraftKings. Cam Johnson or Nance? Give me Larry Nance. Do most of the top professional DFS basketball guys know you? I mean, I guess who would you consider the top DFS guys? I mean, I think most of the YouTube guys do. So like, DK, Taylor Stuber. Like I feel like a lot of these guys know who I am. Yeah, and we all follow each other on Twitter. But it depends on who you're considering. Top. Does Osimo know me? I don't know. Does Chipotle Addict know me? I don't know. But I know like a lot of the YouTube guys do. Alright guys, I think I'm going to wrap up the stream here. Again, it was a quick stream today. I had to go live early because I got a family dinner to attend in a little bit. But I wanted to still stream for you guys. I wanted to talk through the slate with you guys. I hope you did enjoy the stream though. Hopefully we were able to answer everyone's questions. I know we had some issues earlier with OBS. The stream crashed for a little bit, but we're good now. We should be good. But yeah, best of luck tonight, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be live an hour before lock tomorrow, usual time. I'll see you guys then. Best of luck, though, and we'll be back tomorrow. Good luck, fellas.